All right, my beautiful people, this is ERGJ, your certified financial educator, and I'm back here with another episode of Wealth Begins in the Mind. And we're going through the book, How Rich People Think by Steve Siebold. Steve, I'm coming from my check. Now, we're on day number 64 or episode number 64. We're going all the way up to 100. This is part of our financial book club. And so I realized that I recommend books all the time to a lot of my students. And what I found is that for some reason, you can tell somebody, hey, you need to read this book, but they don't necessarily go get it. And then also, they may go get it, but then they don't necessarily read it. So I said, well, why don't I start a financial book club where we can actually find some good reads to go through on a regular basis that I can help some of my followers, subscribers, clients, students to start to change the way that they think. You change the way that you think about money, finances, and wealth, then you can actually change your results as well. Wealth begins in the mind. And so you must be wealthy in your mind long before you're wealthy in your wallet. So we're going through day number 64 of How Rich People Think. What I love about this book is that you get a chapter a day. We go through a chapter a day. You get a quote of the day, a critical thinking question of the day, and an action step as well. So you're going to be able to take something from today, drop that seed in your subconscious, and then you can continue to water it, cultivate it so that it can grow and you can get the results that you're looking for. But hey, I know you don't have a lot of time. I don't have a lot of time. Day number 64. Let's get it. The middle class sets their financial expectations low, so they're never disappointed. The world class sets their financial expectations high, so they're always excited. The middle class sets their financial expectations low, so they're never disappointed. The world class sets their financial expectations high, so they're always excited. So in your comments below or in your notes, you want to put always excited. Now, of course, in order for you to be always excited, you got to be waking up always looking forward to something, and looking forward to something is meeting your expectations. And so you want to set your expectations high. Now, the masses believe in setting low expectations, and they are instructed by many experts to do so. Psychologists and other mental health experts often advise people to set low expectations for their life to ensure they are not disappointed. They are advised to set low expectations for their life to ensure they are not disappointed. My psychology professor in college gave all his students that same advice. World-class performers see this as borderline criminal. That's right, we see this as borderline criminal. No one could ever strike it rich and live their dreams without huge expectations. So again, in the comments below or in your notes, you want to put huge expectations. Ancient wisdom says you get what you expect, yet many people decide to limit their lives to middle-class mediocrity in an effort to protect themselves from failure. But wisdom tells us that you get what you expect. What is it that you expect? Do you have huge expectations? Yet many people decide to limit their lives to middle-class mediocrity in an effort to protect themselves from failure. Every rich person I've interviewed over the past 26 years has failed many times. Most of them have lost large sums of money. The great ones know failure is almost a prerequisite to massive success. The great ones know failure is almost a prerequisite to massive success. Every great fortune began with an unrealistic expectation by an unreasonable person. Every great fortune began with an unrealistic expectation by an unreasonable person. Many psychologists who study the ultra successful conclude they are special and uniquely talented. You are special and uniquely talented, and therefore the advice that works for them won't work for the rest of us. Therefore, the advice that works for them won't work for the rest of us. My research proves the main difference between the middle class and the self-made millionaire is in how they think. The main difference is in how they think. One group sees life as an ongoing fight, and the other sees it as a game. The rich never stop raising their level of expectation because they love the excitement of playing the game. The more excited they get, the harder they work, and the more they succeed. Meanwhile, the masses continue to struggle and live lives of quiet desperation. Meanwhile, the masses continue to struggle and live lives of quiet desperation. Now, here's your quote of the day. Here's what you want to take away from today's chapter. Nobody succeeds beyond his or her wildest expectations, unless he or she begins with some wild expectations. That's from Ralph Sherrill. Nobody succeeds beyond his or her wildest expectations, unless he or she begins with some wild expectations. And here's the critical thinking question today, what you want to take away from today, what you want to think about or ask yourself as it relates to the chapter we read today. Have you set your financial expectations high enough? Have you set your financial expectations high enough? So in other words, it's time to raise the bar. You want to put that in the comments below or put this in your notes. It's time to raise the bar. If you truly believe that you get what you expect, then what are you expecting? And at whatever that is, I think it's time for us to raise the bar. So have you set your financial expectations high enough? And here's your action step. Here's what you want to do with what we've discussed today. You want to revisit your financial goals and increase them by at least 50%, even if you have no idea how to achieve them. This will force you to expand your thinking and expectations. And repeat that again. Revisit your financial goals and increase them by at least 50%, even if you have no idea how to achieve them. This will force you to expand your thinking and expectations. Well, guys, this is chapter 64. Again, the title of it is Middle Class Sets Their Financial Expectations Low so they're never disappointed, but the world class sets their financial expectations high so they're always excited. And I want you to be always excited about the things that you're going after. And I think the way that you can do that is always to set the bar high. It gives you something to go after, gives you something to reach for. It gives you something to continue to build towards. Always set your expectations high. Well, guys, I'm ERGJ, Certified Financial Educator. We do have an opportunity coming up for the kids, grades 4 through 8, starting next Saturday. That's going to be a 12-week Money Smart program. We're going to teach your kids about money. And I don't know anybody that would say they don't think the kids should learn about money, but we want to teach them at an early age so we can keep them out of this cycle of poverty, of debt, things like that. So we want to teach them principles about handling money, dealing with money, because they're going to be dealing with money for their whole life. You'll find more information about that on my website, www.ergj.net. Also, it'll be links in the comments below as well. But at any rate, that's our time today. Day number 64 is now complete. I want to remind you of this, that you must be wealthy in your mind long before you're wealthy in your wallet.